I haven't been out here in a while. You know, I kind of took the whole summer and didn't get out here much. I don't know why. I just passed these people. They told me that there was I don't know what it was, some kind of animal, they said, up in a tree. They said this other big animal chased it up and it stood there. Desert Stream just watched it. I'm like, okay. So I gave it a look see. And I look and it's just threw a acorn at me. That wasn't very nice. I look and it's a porcupine, a big old porcupine up in a tree. And it's sitting up there looking down at me. Probably one of the most timid animals there is in the woods. They can be aggressive, but I saw that it was just there, you know. It was all of the porcupine's body is for defense, except for one spot where the fisher cat can kill it. And these fisher cats are like a big ferret. They're like a wolverine. They're like nothing you've ever seen. It's everything that you've ever wanted for a pet on steroids. Okay. So I told them, I'm like, yeah, it's an old fisher cat. And I said, what he does, he gets that porcupine really, really mad. He backs him up into a corner and he flips him over. And his underside is what's vulnerable about him. I haven't been out here in months. It's the mountain I kind of grew up on, Laurel Mountain. And I used to use this a lot as a hike just to get out a little bit, you know, get my bearing a little bit. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the history of this place. It used to be massive old growth trees. And if you go further up here, you'll find a huge bog with these carnivorous plants that live there. And you see, people did a lot of logging back in the day. They clear cut this entire thing. Men with handsaws and mules and wagons and hauled it all out. What they found out was the top of this mountain, even though it's a ridge, it bottoms out like a soup bowl. So it created this vast bog, this quartzite stone. So it's a high mountain bog, and now they put these carnivorous plants in there. So if you go up here, you can see some of these carnivorous pitcher plants. I don't know. I never really saw it as being something I found necessarily uh, beautiful. I just found the history of it interesting that people 100 years ago didn't take into account that a tree 600 to 700 years old will take thousands of years just to get that environment back in that niche of environment. So, yeah, kind of got a feel for the whole thing, you know what I mean? Got a feel for it. And I realized that, you know, all that stuff I was taught in high school by Tom Grote, other people in the capstone program, and my own group, the Wolfpack, we facilitate learning in a way that, you know, I learned from some pretty amazing people. And so it's taught to respect this area, and other people just see it for what it's worth with money, and see that they can walk away from it, and after their lives are over, it doesn't matter to them at all. This is one example. This bog right here. See these beautiful cinnamon ferns. Take a look at them here. These cinnamon ferns. They're beautiful, aren't they? But they're everywhere. The only bad thing about a cinnamon fern is you can't really do much with them. Animals can't eat them. There's not really any nutritional value to them. So when it comes to them growing, yeah, you get them to grow. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. As far as for the wildlife and everything, it doesn't really do much. So we'll continue on here to this rocks a bit.